in the studio with us right now, we also have TJ Ciolfi with the DiSpirito Team, and he's talking about 5 things to consider when reviewing your home inspection.
Good morning.
Good morning, TJ.
Thanks for having me. This comes up all the time, home inspections. Every transaction has a home inspection, mostly every transaction.
Yeah.
So here are some things that I put together this morning, or last night rather, just because they come to mind, the conversations happen, it's important to get it out there. One, it's not like a car home inspection where they can fail you. It's not a pass-fail situation. So
we get that a lot.
We do. I hope my house passes the home inspection, or
it failed.
Or they get the home inspection. Now, these reports sometimes can be between 60 and 90 pages long, right? Because they go through your entire property. And buyer will look at it and say, the house failed the home inspection. It can't. It doesn't. It didn't. So that's one key thing to remember just when you go into it, that this is not a situation of pass-fail.
No. That's a great point.
Number 2, your home inspector should be talking to you about useful life. Useful life of the roof, the furnace, the water tank. But what comes off that is they're not psychic. So they can't say that the furnace has a useful life of about 5 years, but you can't set your clock to it.
No.
Or we had one this week where the furnace was original to the property, and the home inspector, to my dismay, said it's not going to make it through the winter.
How do you know? It's 80 years old.
It made it through last winter. It might make it through 3 winters. So keep in mind that you want to be working with a home inspector that's going to talk to you about the useful life of the different parts of the house. Number 3, I think that buyers can do themselves a service if they read thoroughly the disclosures.
Absolutely.
Because there is nothing worse than going through a home inspection and then the things that are roadblocks in the transaction were already disclosed at the time of making the offer. The seller, we require our sellers to complete the disclosures as thoroughly as they can be.
Yeah.
But it's the buyer's agent and the buyer's responsibility to read those disclosures.
Absolutely.
So if there's a broken garage door that doesn't lift, then you shouldn't be shocked to find out that there's a broken garage door that doesn't lift.
Exactly.
Right. So that would be number 3.
I want to interject right there, and I want Melissa's opinion on this. Now, Melissa, once a buyer goes in and does a home inspection report, everything that is on the home inspection report, now the seller knows and has to redisclose,
In
correct?
the event that the seller and the listing agent have received the home inspection from the buyer, then yes, at that point, now all known defects would have to be added to the disclosures. What I see oftentimes is buyers walking away and not even citing a reason or giving the home inspection to the listing agent. They just say, there's too many issues with this home inspection, we want out. In which case, the listing agent, if they don't know the reasons or the defects, you're going to continue business as usual with your sales disclosure. But it is important to have that pre-listing inspection, as you mentioned, because now you know with accuracy what your sellers are likely to find as far as those roadblocks.
Exactly. Disclose it all up front.
Get it out there in the open.
Fix little things.
But again, like I said, as a buyer, you should be reading that disclosure and not just don't initial here and sign, and then be surprised when you find out that there's cracks in the basement.
Yeah.
Number 4, as you go through your home inspection, you should be looking for safety and structure first.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I say safety, I mean electrical. Mold is unsafe. Lead paint is unsafe. I wouldn't be so concerned with the closet door doesn't close perfectly every time, because these home inspectors are going to go through every single part of the house, and there are going to be some small things wrong.
It's their job.
It's their job, and of course they're going to do it to the best of their ability.
Sure.
With that said, a peeling piece of linoleum in the 3rd bathroom may not be a deal breaker, and you shouldn't concern yourself with it as much as if you find out that there's a crack in the foundation that you can see from 20 feet away.
Yeah.
So I find that a lot of my buyers right now are looking through the home inspection at things that are maybe cosmetic, more than safety and structure.
I totally agree with that. And those safety things, by the way, they can most always be remedied.
Of course, and they should be remedied.
Yeah.
But when we're talking about asking a seller, to fix paint on the inside of a bedroom closet, sometimes it can be frustrating in the negotiation process, because what are we really talking about? Is it very important?
Yeah.
Or is it something that you're going to do on your own anyway?
I agree. I totally agree.
And number 5, when you're looking at the photographs on these home inspections, right? Yeah. When these guys come in and they zoom in on something, right? Put it in perspective. If we're looking at a peeling piece of paint and it's blown up 1,000 times, it looks like the wall is peeling off. right? I always ask people, do you want to come take another look at that, from where you stand as opposed to where the zoom lens took it to?
Yeah.
Right? Because they can have a lot of fun by making, a mountain out of a molehill if they're trying to do that.
Yeah, some do, most don't, but some do. I would agree. I would agree. So you take them back in pretty much.
Sometimes I'll take them back in. Sometimes I'll say, well, when we were in the house, we saw the house once or twice. Did you even notice that? No, I didn't notice it. Is it a defect that's structural? No. Okay, so maybe we want to leave that off our negotiation and worry about something that might be, even more important, such as there's no handrails or there's peeling paint on the exterior, something like that.
See, here's what I do, right, when I'm negotiating the inspections, because, by the way, listeners, as a buyer, you can negotiate, obviously, inspections with your seller. You can either ask them to fix things or to give you a credit, okay? Now, what we do is if we go in a house and there's no hand railings or some, like, chipped paint and stuff, we will not ask for those during the inspection. You know why? Because the appraiser, if it's FHA, if it's VA, if it's Rhode Island Housing, okay, those are all pretty much government-backed or nonprofit organizations, okay? Now, they're going to go in, the appraiser's going to go in, and they're pretty much going to almost pass or fail that house.
Right.
And if it has chipped paint, it's a lead hazard. If it doesn't have hand railings, it's a safety hazard. So these make sure, and I think a couple of realtors might be doing this, I don't know. Don't ask for that during the inspections because it makes your list look so much longer and it makes the seller go, oh my God, no way. We're in a seller's market. I'm not doing all this. Wait until the appraiser is the bad guy. Right?
It makes perfect sense
to do it that way.
It's all about
positioning. Yeah. It's all about positioning.
You're so right.
Thank you very much. You're so right. That was awesome.
I just wanted to add, though,
Please.
Home inspectors, of course, from a liability perspective, are always worried about making sure that list is comprehensive. So I think that's why it often can be alarming to a buyer to see a 60-page report of problems with the house. So I think what you're talking about, downplaying some of the issues that are cosmetic or not really structural and the way you're negotiating them, absolutely needs to be a strategic play from the buyer's agent with the buyer as to what the buyer wants.
We always try and tell our clients there's no such thing as a perfect house, right?
It's true.
There's no house that's been
never
lived in. You can't live in a house for 6 months and then have a home inspection and find out there's absolutely nothing wrong with this property, right? So you have to go in there knowing this is a used house. There's going to be a couple of things. It's all about prioritizing what's important as you look through the report.
And most of our homes are older here anyways. They're beautiful. Like I love older homes. They're unique. They're not cookie cutter, right? They're not cookie cutter. We've got some of the most beautiful homes in neighborhoods, I think. I've been all over the country, and I love it here. Love it, love, love it.